The Premier League is back, which means it's time for some predictions. We're going to go through each game and give our predictions. Pretty straightforward. Palace against Arsenal, the hype boys, the pre-season hype boys against Patrick Vieira's Crystal Palace. They're not the hype boys. Yeah. What do you think, James?
Well, we've all gone for Jesus, and I think that's the obvious choice. I think he could be that missing piece for them to really shoot up the league. Problem is, it's a very congested top of the league. Check out the top 4 videos for more details on that. I think he's going to just score so many goals this year. I think the big question was, will he need chances, or does he just need confidence of being the guy? And it was clearly the latter. I think his movement's great, knows Arteta, and I think the signings that have come in, you talk about that sort of hype train for Arsenal. I get it. Ooh. I wonder if it survives a couple of defeats or disappointing performances, because it is still a young squad, but you've got all the profiles that you need now, and Arteta is a very diligent coach, and I think it's going to be a good season for them. But Crystal Palace is a tough game. I mean, we've all gone for an Arsenal victory. You never know what's going to happen on an opening day. The next game, I would say, is a little bit more, we know what's going to happen here. Fulham versus Liverpool.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be how many. Like we spoke previously, Marco Silva's coming out saying Fulham aren't ready, can't be competitive at this level already, which I don't want that in a manager. Maybe just a little pep talk for going into the season. So I think when you look at that Liverpool side, only strengthened in the right areas. So yeah, I think it's how many are they going to get. A few Salahs, a few Roy shots. Someone's gone Van Dijk's first goal.
A piece goal.
I think it's actually going to be a tight game. First game of the season, Craven Cottage is going to be bouncing. And I think Liverpool will be...
How bouncy can Craven Cottage?
I was thinking it, I'll be honest.
I have been there a few times, not that bouncy, but I think the atmosphere won't be overly polite to Liverpool. And I think Liverpool from the Community Shield, I wasn't overly convinced they beat City, but I don't think it was a case of Liverpool were outstanding. Van Dijk from a corner, he's going to head it, blocks, come back, smash it into the roof of the net.
Fulham looking weak from set pieces with centre-backs as well, being a bit of an issue. Everton versus Chelsea, Nubaid. Let's do it.
Well, we've got a bit of a mixed bag here. I don't know why I've gone rogue again, to be fair. I know for a fact I was not thinking that scoreline, but I have now backed it. I wonder with Chelsea, with the pre-season they've had, with Tuchel giving off some really strange vibes that he's not entirely convinced by his squad. And on the flip side, you've got Lampard, and he's not been entirely convinced by his squad. First game of the season, it's coming earlier than usual. I get this feeling it's going to be a bit of a...
What's that, sorry?
You're a boxing fan. Describe it in boxing words.
Yeah, you know me. I love my boxing.
The old left hand right hook.
Yeah, the old left right. No, I think if Everton's going to place to be bouncing, it would be Goodison Park on the first game of the season, especially the way Lampard got his critics, but the way he sort of got the fans behind him last season was very big. So if there's anything that they have got as a positive, I think it can be that. Yeah,
I think you're right with Lampard and the Chelsea link there as well. They'll all be up for it. I think people. The Chelsea thing, I think people are getting out of hand with it. They've still got a very, very good squad. And Everton, I'm not so sure. So I think they'll be comfortable, and I think Sterling will get a goal straight.
Got Leicester Brentford next, and we've all gone really low scoring. Is this going to be the worst game of the weekend, potentially?
This could be last on whatever highlights package.
Yeah, I think so, definitely. Like I said, I have concerns about Brentford and the goals they're going to score this year. Leicester, it feels pretty drab there as well. And I think Brentford will walk away from that game with a 0-0 and be very, very happy with that at this moment in time. So, first goal scorer not applicable for me because I've gone for a 0-0.
That's when you know it's bad. Who's going to score?
No one.
No goal.
Yeah.
I've gone Tony, and in my head that's a penalty. So
yeah, of course.
That's not from open play. That's just very scrappy.
It's a very confident shout. United against Brighton. Now this, I actually think, aside from Arsenal, which I think is just pure and utter hype that might just die in the first half, United must be the next most hyped team purely because of all the stuff going on pre-season. Ronaldo's not interested. We will come to that. Martial is back. Rashford is back. Sancho has found his feet. De Gea's coming off his line. I've never seen that in my life. It's all gone crazy at United. Are Brighton looking forward to this more, thinking if we beat United opening day away from home, and they did last year, I believe it was 4-0, Trossard turned it on, or is this a case of Ronaldo turns up, does start, or doesn't start, and it's all about Ronaldo?
Well, we'll have to check his Instagram to see if the King is coming back. It's always good to do.
He said good to be back, didn't he? On the
session, he left at half time.
Yeah, wasn't that good, was he? He didn't stay to the end.
Well, I think Brighton are more set, obviously, with the way the Potter's been working with them over the last few years, and it is a bit of an open hit this first game going to Old Trafford. Obviously, there's lower expectations at Manchester United, but they still expect to be beating Brighton at home. So I have gone 1-0. I think it'll be a very close affair. And then the other sort of narrative coming, like you said, is Sancho. Like, he's got to turn up this year, hasn't he? So I have backed him to go first goal scorer.
Yeah, he's looked good in pre-season. I think that first game for Erik ten Hag, I think that might push them over the edge in terms of getting the victory. But with Brighton, they're a team. And they don't have those individuals, but they have a great structure and are a good side. So it will be difficult. But I'm hoping Rashford starts to hit the ground.
Where does that come from?
Because why not? And he's
that's
not that
awful.
bad. He can't be this bad. He can't be.
We love a narrative.
That's
a lovely narrative.
There's no narrative. It's just James going.
But he's talented. He's a talented player, and Erik ten Hag can develop him. No doubt his confidence fell off a cliff. Fresh start.
I actually feel
Goal
like the
first
way
game. You're off.
The way people talk about him is actually like he's actually broken in half. Like he's had a rest.
And he has had problems with injuries, actually.
Yeah.
That has been a big part of it. So hopefully he's coming back rejuvenated.
Couple of quick fire ones then. Bournemouth against Aston Villa. You've backed Watkins first scorer and a draw on the opening day.
Yeah, well, I was trying to be impartial, but then I realised I do hate the Villa, but couldn't really say Bournemouth were going to win that, so I've gone 1-1 just to be sort of impartial.
Okay, fair enough. Leeds versus Wolves. We've all gone for a 1-0 victory for Leeds. I've gone for Aronson, who I think is going to be a neat little player for Leeds this year. You've both gone for Bamford. Newcastle versus Nottingham Forest.
Newcastle, Callum Wilson, the boy, Penn early doors. He's getting a double actually. I couldn't put down a double, but I reckon Penn early doors gets ahead of the second half, potentially on for a hat-trick. You've gone with someone else, but also a Newcastle win all the way around.
Yeah, so maximum for me. Then going into the final one, Tottenham versus Southampton. I've sort of backed my player of the year shout early on, so I've gone Heung-min Son just to get that trophy.
Last game of the weekend, West Ham versus Man City. In terms of goal scorers, I'm going with Bernardo Silva. I know you're a big fan, Will.
Yeah.
You've gone for the guy that you like to go for.
Yeah, well, I had to do it, yeah. I did write these together, so I had to back myself and go Haaland. So if you want to start, you want a strong start, and he's got to go in there. Community Shield, take that away. He had a smile on his face even when he missed it, so hopefully he can have a smile on his face.
That's frightening.
Yeah.
You're not worried about Haaland.
No,
But should Man City fans be worried about Haaland? I saw a lot of stuff on Twitter. I asked the question myself, he's good, but is he good? And it turns out he's good. But how good?
It was sort of what you expected from Nunez. Like, I thought the comp after the game would be Nunez falling over his feet. As soon as he missed the open net, I was like, here we go. Haaland, he's not the guy. But yeah, I don't worry too much about him as an individual over the course of the season. I do worry in this immediate phase. And I hope to God he doesn't turn up and score a hat-trick now. And it would be very Haaland-esque. But I went with Antonio first scorer, West Ham City draw. I don't think City are ready for that West Ham, whatever it is from David Moyes that's going to come. That Skamaka's not going to play, I don't think, which is unfortunate.
Do you know what I want? I want to see the Giants of West Ham. But get Antonio and Skamaka in the same team. We've got Souček and Rice in centre midfield. You've got three at the back. It's going to be dangerous. They do seem a bit undercooked, Man City, with the amount of games they've played. It's still Man City for me, and I still think they'll be okay, and I think they'll sneak the victory because I think they've just got too much quality. But it will be a tough game, and it's a tough one to kick off for Man City, who we all think are going to be champions this year.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.